Hello and welcome back to another Washburn Tips tutorial. So today I'm going to be teaching you a little bit about how to use equations in Excel, and they can really make your life easier if you're dealing with a lot of data and you need to process it. So we're going to be looking at these that you can see on the screen over here. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different functions that I'm going to be teaching you about. And like I said, yeah, they can just really save you a lot of time. So the first one is sum. So whenever you use an equation in Excel, or this also works for Google Sheets, you first need to type an equal sign. So that indicates to the spreadsheet, to the program, that you're going to be performing an operation. So in order to do the sum of these numbers, I just put in some random numbers on the left. We're going to go is equal to sum, and we're going to open parentheses, and we can actually drag on here all the way down till we have all of the data. Then we close the parentheses and press enter. And so that gives us the sum. And if we want to change any of those values, say we change that 7 to a 10, it should go up 3, and it does. You can change that to 60 and it'll adjust accordingly. And it doesn't have to just be values that are in a certain column. You can also make it do other values. For instance, we can, let's see here. So say we have some more values over here, and we want to sum all these, and we also want to sum this one right over here. So to do that, what we can do is so this is that right there, and then if we do a comma, we can also put in a different number over there. And if we did another comma, we could put in another number, and so on and so forth, all the way to however many numbers you have. And that will give us the sum. All right, next let's talk about the product. So this is a very similar kind of concept. Equal sign, and then it's product down here. And as you can see, so as we're typing, it will give you different suggestions for what it thinks you might want to do. So there are so many different functions that you can use in Excel. The majority of them you'll probably never have any need for, but there are definitely more than the few that we're going to be talking about today. So for product, it's a similar thing. So if I want to find the product or multiply together all of these numbers right here, I can just do that, and that is a very big number. Or if I just have, say, 78 and 77, and this over here, 55, I can go and I can just say that this is from C8 and C9. So we're going to go C8, comma, C9, comma, and then this is E9 over here. So then E9. And there we have it. That's the product of 78, 77, and 55 together. All right, next quotient. I'm hoping you're getting the hang of this by now. It's pretty much the same thing. So say we want to take the quotient of 78 and 77. So we want to divide 78 by 77. So we are just going to do quotient of those two numbers, and out comes 1. And so the reason that 1 comes out is that it is currently rounding to the nearest integer. So the 78 divided by the 77 rounds to 1. Next we can talk about the minimum, max, and average. So these three are very useful if we want to statistically analyze data. So we have this huge data set over here. Say I recorded some observations on the height of some turtles. So a lot of different numbers. I want to figure out some stuff about the data. So first thing I want to figure out is the minimum. So we go is equal to min, hit enter. Well, you actually don't have to. We're going to open the parentheses, and we are going to highlight this entire data set here. And so as you can see, this colon right here means that we're going from A1 all the way down to 24. If we just wanted values A1 and A24, we could use a comma, but we want all in between as well, so we use a colon. And that's just a way to indicate to the computer what values that we want. So we want the minimum of all those data points. And so we press enter, and look, 1, and we can confirm that, yep, 1 is the lowest value on there. Next, we are going to show you how to do max. So very similar concept. We type in max, open the parentheses, and let's just confirm to ourselves what we think that's going to be before we have the computer perform the operation. So we assume that that's going to be 67, right? That's the highest number I see. And so we put all the numbers in there, and out comes 67. Perfect. And so say now I want the average. So in order to take the average, we are going to do the average function. Maybe you guessed it. So we're going to highlight all these numbers here, and it's going to spit out an average of 9.96 approximately. But say I don't like how that number looks. I don't want to look at it as 9.9583333. I just want it to be a very simple number. Perhaps I'm going to do some further calculations on it, and I just want a nice even number. So the last function that we're going to talk about is round. So the round function will be able to perform that for us. So we're going to go round, and that's the number. So the first number that we're going to put in there, or the first cell that we're going to link it to, is just the number, as we can see. And it kind of gives us an indication down here of what we're looking at. So we want the number and then the number of digits we want it rounded to. I want it rounded to, what happens if I say 1 digit? Well, there we go. So it rounds it to 1 significant figure. Say I want it rounded to 2 digits. 9.96. Okay. Say I want it rounded to 10. Well, that'll just get me back pretty much where I started. So that's not going to be helpful. But so I just want it rounded to the ones place. That makes it easy. And rounding it to the tens place will get me to the same place. Or, I apologize. Rounding it to the tens place there will get me to the same place. So that makes that easy. And it especially makes it easy if you're dealing with a bunch of erroneous numbers. So we have like 6.7, 34.36, blah, 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 all this. And then we want to round each of these numbers. And so in order to round each of these numbers, it's a really nice thing we can do. We can take this right here, and if we drag down on this part right here, it will copy the formula that we have right here, and it'll paste it 1 down, so that then that'll be rounding that number, that'll be rounding that number, that'll be rounding that number. And so we can say how many digits we want it rounded to, and that just essentially makes it really nice. It makes it a lot prettier than before. So yeah, this has been, I think, a successful tutorial. If you want to know more formulas, I think I gave you the baseline of how to use them, but you can always Google more formulas, and also over here. So if you're at home and you go up to formulas, you can find a lot of different functions that make it easy. So over here it has an easy sum, average. You can count the numbers, you can find the minimum and maximum. Then over here, if you click more functions, you will find this over here, and you can search for different functions that you might need. Otherwise, Google is your friend. Yeah, I think that does it for this video. Have a nice day.